Hey everybody, it's Carey Conley coming to you live at 5 on Monday, my favorite time to come talk to my Facebook friends. How's everybody doing? How was your Monday? How was your weekend? I hope it's beautiful where you're at. I know that I am working on getting everybody used to me coming live on my business page instead of my personal page. So hopefully you guys have all hopped on over here, and I come on here every Monday to talk about vision and purpose in one way, shape, or form, or another. I've just kind of found that this is kind of a good time to catch people, or has been anyway. And if you don't know me, I have been around the block for a while. I've been an entrepreneur for over 25 years. I've built 2 different business models and have worked with a lot of people on their vision and purpose. And I have written a book about it called Vision is Victory. I have a website. You can go to careyconley.com and check some stuff out there. And I just love talking to you guys about vision and purpose. I mean, it's my whole purpose in life to help you find out what your purpose is, because we need people right now with more vision and purpose like we have never had before. So I've been talking all month on the theme around stories, and I'm going to continue talking on that today in a kind of a different way. So I moved into an apartment building last July, you guys, and one of the reasons I moved was so that I could meet a whole bunch of new people. And I have met some really awesome people, some very successful, lovely, kind people. And one of the people that I've met over the past month is a gentleman by the name of Mike Pavia. So I'm gonna shout out to Mike. Mike is a very successful businessman from New York, and he and I have had some great conversations about vision and purpose. And he has shared some things with me about some of the things he's done with his employees to get them to think outside the box. And so one of the things he shared with me was how he one day went in and talked to everybody about the bucket. And so I want to talk to you guys tonight about creating a new bucket list. So how many of you guys have a bucket list? I know everybody does. I call it a vision board, or your written vision, your leap off the page vision. Some people literally have a list that they check off the bucket list. Maybe you've got, vision board, something like that. And I know that a lot of those things are things, hi Katie, that we all keep adding to, we aspire to. They are great, big, fat, lovely dreams that we want to go after. And a lot of times those things, sometimes they get checked off the list, but a lot of times they don't. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm sure you know this too, that I think a lot of people die with a lot of those things not done, and die with a lot of regret. And the only reason for it, you guys, is that we've got some stories that are tripping us up. They are like the great big obstacles in the way. And so going back to my friend Mike, he brought his team into a room one day and said, we're going to go after some barriers that we want to break in this company. We want to just go big, hairy, audacious goals. And he had them literally write every little reason why they thought going after that great big goal would not work. And he put it in a bucket like this, similar to this. Okay? And so he had them just list everything they could think of, everything they were afraid of, every doubt they had, all the risks they thought they were headed into. And so they dropped them into the bucket. And so here's some things that I think are some of the things that would be stories, or things that sometimes people get in their way, get inside their head, and don't realize that those things are tripping them up, all right? So here's one of my favorites. No time, or it's not the right time, all right? So a lot of times when I am having people write their vision, they can give a great, big, lovely vision of what they want to create their life to look like. But before they start putting the action into place like we all want to, the very first thing I hear, probably number one at the top of the list, and I'm sure you guys have heard these things too, is I really want those things, but I just don't have the time, or it's not the right time, or I'm going to have to look at the time later, and on it goes, right? Okay, so time is number one. Second one, right behind that one, is money. Again, we have all these things, these aspirations, these goals that we want to reach, these barriers we want to break. But sometimes those things require investing some money to go up and make them happen. Hi, Shani. And how many times have you guys seen where people do the I'm going to do that thing, but I'm going to have to wait till the money shows up thing, and so that becomes another obstacle. All right, another one. Never done it before. So how many people do you know have sometimes say, that is something I would really like to do, but nobody in our family's ever done that before, or I've never done that before, so I don't know how that looks. And so what we get inside our head is that if it's never been done before, what makes us think that we can do it, which right behind that one is another one of my favorites, I'm not worthy. And we go into a whole thing around deserving. Maybe somebody else is better at this. Maybe somebody else deserves it more than me. Maybe I need to be a better person before I can actually create that in my life. And, that is a huge, huge topic that I want to encourage you guys that if this is something that you are struggling with, you are so worthy of everything you have coming to you and all the abundance that this universe and God wants to give you in this world, you guys. All right? So here's another one. It's a little too little and too late. This, I think, sometimes wraps around. Hello, Brianna. Congratulations, my sweet girl. I love you. Hey, Lisa. How's everybody doing? I am so happy to see people hopping on and they followed me over to the business page. Thank you so very much. Share this out if you don't mind, you guys, because I love it when you share. Let people know that I'm here every Monday at 5, and thanks for hopping on. So we're talking about putting those things aside that are obstacles that are keeping us from achieving the vision and the dreams and all the things in our bucket list that we want. And one of them I was just talking about, little too late. So this would be probably my age group or beyond, that we have a mission that we have dreamed about for so very long. And it starts at this point in our life where we start thinking, well, maybe I really wasn't meant to do that. Maybe somebody else is going to come along and they're going to pick up that mission and run with it. They have more energy, they have more time, and on that goes, right? And so let's talk about the next one. Not prepared enough. This goes back to, I think, coinciding with not worthy, not deserving. I see sometimes, and I do this myself, where we do the whole thing of, I just don't know enough. I need to do more studying. I need to do more research. I need to figure things out. I need to go back to school and maybe get another degree. We do the whole thing that we're not prepared. And here's what I know, you guys, and again, call it the universe, God, whatever you want to call it. I know one thing for sure is that God sends us to this planet, each and every one of us, with one unique mission to complete while we're here. And only you can carry out, which means if you are the only one who can carry out that mission, it means you are totally equipped. You have everything right here, right now, already in you guys. You've always had it. So don't play the game that you're not prepared enough and you've got to learn more and you've got to keep trying, keep waiting, hoping, wishing, a prayer plan kind of thing. And my last one, tried and failed. Sometimes people will say, you know what? I want that, but I went after it once before and it didn't quite get there, or it totally bombed. And then everybody thought that I messed up, and, a lot of people were trying to tell me, you know what, I told you that wouldn't work. So all these things, you guys, do you see how these become the barriers to those dreams in the bucket list that we want to achieve? And so here's the new bucket list I want you to do. And this is what I learned from my friend Mike. I want you to take a bucket, literally find something, write down every single thing that right now is a story or a risk or a fear or a doubt that you have. And one by one, I want you to put them in this bucket and set it aside and get rid of it. It's almost like burning them, you guys. And here's the thing. Because if you could take all of those things out of your head, out of your heart, out of your emotions, and you could set them aside and simply say, okay, now that those are set aside, what's stopping me from actually going after and doing that thing? Because now you have a clear path, guys. No barriers, right? You've put them aside. They're out of the way. And now what I want you to envision is saying to yourself, all right, if this is not a barrier, how am I going to go after this thing and start coming up with a plan? See, a lot of times I think what happens is people shut off creating the pathway of making it possible, because the very first gate sometimes what we put up is that it can't be done. It's one of those things in the bucket list. And what I know is where there's a will, there's a way. Obviously, there's got to be a great big will, which is your big, fat, juicy vision on the other side, in order to open up the pathway of making that happen. So let's talk about time first. So instead of saying things like, you know what, I don't have the time, or it's not the right time, if you want something bad enough, wouldn't it be better to say something like, how can I find the time? Where can I free up the time? How can I shift my schedule? What do I need to take off my plate? And what do I need to do to start it now? Not next month, not next quarter, not the end of the year, because I think a lot of times we get really hopeful that our lives are going to be a little less busy later on, and they just aren't. I don't know if you guys have figured that out yet. Every quarter's busy. Every month is busy. There's always a holiday. There's always birthdays. There's always kids stuff. There's always a long to-do list and personal stuff to do. It never stops. So what we have to do is put aside saying that, remember it's in the bucket, and open up the pathway of saying, all right, with that gone, how can I make that happen? Same thing with money. If right now you know there's something that you need to invest in to go up in your life and to make that dream happen, instead of saying, I don't have the money, or I'm going to have to wait for the money, put it in the bucket, set it aside, and instead say, okay, how am I going to make that money come to fruition in order for me to make that happen right now? It's kind of like this. I've said this to a lot of the people I've coached, you guys. There's always money. It's never money and time, you guys. Truth be told, it is never time and money. Because think about something that you've done in your past that you wanted and needed to have it happen so bad that you set the time aside and you found the money to make it happen. Here's a great example I used to give people. If right now you walked out and found all 4 tires on your car were flat, slashed, dead, whatever, wouldn't you have to find the money to come up with getting those wheels back on that car to get you around? It's the same thing, you guys. It's the same pathway. Open it up, let it go, because getting 4 new tires, not optional. You've got to find the pathway. You see where I'm going with all this, you guys? The new bucket I hope that you make today is putting all those stories, all those doubts, all those fears, all the things that you think are risky and real things that are happening, because they're just stories. Drop it in a bucket or put it in whatever you want, and get it out of the way and start opening up the pathway of making things happen that you know right now before this year gets away from us. I've been talking about how important second quarter is. It's go time now, guys. This is the time you figure things out, right? So, hey, listen, I've got a couple of things coming up that I hope that you will hang in there and listen from me about. I'm tripping over my words today. This isn't normal for me. Next Monday, have a very, very exciting thing I'm going to do, and I'm going to bring on 6 other experts in their area of expertise via a Zoom link. So instead of me going live here, you're going to get a Zoom link to watch. I'm bringing them all on because they are amazing people. I work with them. I collaborate with them. They are brilliant at what they do. So I'm bringing them on as kind of a panel of experts for you. They're going to introduce themselves to you, and each one of them is going to give you one really juicy tidbit that you can use right now inside your personal life and your business life, all right? So make sure you share this out. Again, keep hopping on here every Monday on my business page at 5 p.m. I always come here with some content value, something added to your life, your business that you can apply right now. I also have some retreats coming up and a really awesome mastermind with these experts kicking off on May 7th. If you're interested in any of that, private message me and I'll give you the information on it. So, hey, thanks for watching, you guys. Thanks for everybody to be on. Lisa Boyle, appreciate all the love. Hey, Veronica, can't wait to see you tomorrow and get your game plan mapped out. Love working with new clients, and I appreciate all you guys hopping on live. Have a great Monday night.